everyone. Welcome in and thank you for being here. I hope everyone's doing well. So we're here at Shark Tank at Santa Monica College. I present to you Sharks Valley, please. Give an applause. My name is Stanislas Shvets and I founded Sharks Valley. I wanted to thank, first of all, my team because they're the ones who believed in me, believed in the club that we made. So I wanted to thank, first of all, Diego. He's right here. Then we have Jinho, the original founder also. We have Hassan. I guess Kaya, who's right there sitting. And of course our advisor at the end. At the back of the class. When I presented this idea about 2 months ago to my team, Sharks Valley, I wanted to do it. And the idea was like perfect. However, I quickly realized that I have like too many things ongoing inside of school, the exams, and outside of school personally, but also, like we have to, some of us apply to universities, and that took time. So I was like, now, maybe let's not do it, unless the team commits. And my team was like, no, let's do it. We have to do it. So I was like, okay, then we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. So without the board members, this project wouldn't exist. So I wanted to thank them. I care so much about this project that I put it in my priorities this semester, and you probably don't realize it, but I put it like infinite amount of hours and days in this to have you all here, present this all here, and yeah, thank you for everyone being here. So I just wanted to have like a 5-minute short speech because I want to do this. It's my first event, first time speaking to these people. You're probably gonna ask yourself like, who is this guy and why should I listen to him? I'm not a famous person and I don't know, like I may have like less skills than you all have. But Sharks Valley is here and we have successful sharks, of course, that I'm gonna present after. But all of this is because I trusted in myself, all right? Is because I trust in myself. So the word, like you as a person, whatever you want to do, you can achieve it, but only if you believe in yourself. And that's what I did for Sharks Valley. I just believed in myself, and here it is. We're here in this room today. So last semester in April, I founded Entrepreneurs Valley with the original also founder Jinho right there. So I wanted to thank him because he supported me along this whole journey and never give up. Same for me. So we started the club with 4 people at our first meeting. It was him, me, and 2 of our friends. That was the first picture we had of our club. Then we went up to 7 people. Then we grew to 20 people this semester. And that's a great picture actually. But every week we have about like 15 to 20 people coming back to our meetings, and I'm extremely happy for that because I feel like we actually do bring value to these people because they come back. And yeah, now we're here today. We had about 105 people signing in for the event, and about I guess 40 of you came here, so thank you for being here. So today is the moment I was waiting for, we were waiting for, so that we coached and prepared students for a 4-week challenge. They found the problem, the solution, they interviewed people, they gave up, they put a business plan and prepare for this today's event, today's moment. So keep in mind that there are still community college students, so I want you to be kind to them, and please give them an applause because they're in this room and they will need some support. All right, I'm gonna start seriously. First of all, today I wanted to introduce you to our guests. We have very high profile guests today that you may not know it because I just put the poster yesterday. My bad about it. Don't ask me how I brought them, but just enjoy the moment. We have 4 sharks today. Chief Revenue Officer and co-founder of Relay Financial, a company that lets people earn passive income using the unused power of their smartphones through blockchain technology. I present to you Rob O'Leary. Founder and CEO of Star News Mobile, an African mobile video network that grew over 10 million subscribers in just a few years. And last year, they raised $3 million. I present to you Geek and Gang. More than 30 years of business leadership. He is a business growth expert, certified business coach, built and scaled dozens of companies that employed over 800 people, and the ex-mayor of Malibu. I present to you Mikey Pearson. And finally, helped scale Herbalife, a wellness and fitness service company, from $1 billion to $5 billion and in revenue, and founder of Bug G Ventures, a venture capital where he developed investment deal flow from scratch to over $7 billion. Please give him an applause. I present to you Leon Kassab. All right, so I'm gonna quickly explain to you what's gonna happen today. You will have students present their ideas, their startups. So of course, it's like a 4-week challenge, and our sharks here will be able to give their opinions, feedbacks on those ideas. Of course, it's up to them to do whatever they will want to do. And I guess, let's begin Sharks Valley. Woo, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna call the first team, that is Internus. Come up to the board, please.
Oh boy, what pressure, am I right? Well, I guess I should start. We are the Internist team from the Entrepreneurship Club. Today, well, I had a vision, right? And in this vision, I realized that it's very difficult for a lot of high schoolers and people like the like, early college students, high schoolers, to get internships and scholarships. I was very confused about that back in high school. So I thought, wouldn't it be very convenient if there was a app for such a thing? Now, before I continue, I'm going to introduce you to the team. I'm Gary, I'm the team leader of this project. Over here are my associates, Brian. He is the market research, and over there is Jonathan. He helped make the templates for the website. Now, over $100 million of unclaimed funds go to scholarships annually in the US. And 12.5% of college students receive a scholarship. Only 12.5%. Now, obviously I already talked about the problem. It's very confusing to find a scholarship, an internship, especially when you're younger, when you're a high school student. Imagine if you're 16 and you want to find such a thing. I thought it was very difficult. Our solution, like I've already stated, is to make an easy and safe website where you can easily and safely find such a thing. Now, our brand pretty simple. Now, I will hand it over to my market researcher, Brian.
Hello, everybody. So our target audience is from 16 to 24-year-olds, have an interest in having a higher education, and come from a lower to middle class income. Our competitors are FastWeb, that has the largest database, RaiseMe, that has micro scholarships for student achievements, 21st Century, that has leadership programs with their scholarships, and lastly, scholarships.com, that gathers multiple scholarships from multiple sources. The advantages that we have that our competitors don't have is that we'll have a straightforward scholarship design and no data harvesting, and it'll be high school connected. I'd like to pass it on to Jonathan.
All right, so when it comes to the process, as you guys can see, once we kind of solidify ourselves as a good business in this market, we would want someone interested in higher education to reach out to their counselors. After that, the counselor is going to recommend our website, and then after that, the student can research the app and find whatever scholarships or internships that they are interested in. After that, we also are trying to have a subscription-based payment, to where the students pay monthly for our service. Yeah. All right, and this is our kind of overview of what we want our business to be in the next 10 years. First year, obviously, with the influx of capital that we might have from you guys in the first year, we would use that to launch our first website. By the third year, we want to assist the Santa Monica Malibu School District in finding scholarships for their students. So what we're trying to do is trying to like minimize our growth. So start with Santa Monica, then move to LA, and then eventually move to the whole country. By our fifth year, we want the top scholarship reference in the LA area. And then by the 10th year, we want to be the #1 scholarship reference in California. Thank you guys. And if you guys have any questions, just let us know right now.
Where are you going to get the data from?
Hello? There we go. Mainly we just, it was a Google search. We used AI to help us get the research results. Yeah.
And what is going to compel counselors to be your main marketing tool? It feels limited to me.
It is limited in that sense. However, when it comes to counselors using our website, we believe that we could provide a more competitive edge through simplicity.
I'll just actually build on what Mikey said. It's two things with that. What is how you're going to go individually to each counselor, or what's your market acquisition there? And then secondly, I think because of that choice, and I'm guessing you're going to go to them directly, I feel like you're really limiting the potential of this. If you're going to have an app, you should have a go-to-market that supports something that could actually do the whole thing in 10 years, not just California and not just LA in 5 years. So that's where I'm kind of lost.
I agree with you on that wholeheartedly. I believe that when it comes to, like you said, market acquisition, it may be more efficient to maybe reach out to the principal instead, and then the principal can make a decision from there. However, that would obviously still include jumping from school to school. In that sense, what we could do is possibly advertisements toward a more public field.
Actually, let me kind of add on that as well. We kind of understood from our research from our competitors that these companies are much larger companies compared to us, right? So what we wanted to do is kind of work individually with the school at the beginning, so that we could make a stronger connection, I guess, with the students, right, as the beginning. And then moving forward, obviously, when we have enough capital, we can grow it so that it can expand out a lot more. That can help out.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what Mike and Robert said. If you're doing technology, you should be able to scale way faster and go bigger. In 10, even in 5 years, I think you're limiting yourself. One of the questions I have: who's the buyer? Why are you selling to the principal, or the counselor, or are you selling to the student? Because then, if you're targeting the student, then you're limiting yourself by going through. You're just adding a step to your end user consumer. Why don't you just go direct?
Well, in that sense, yes, we would be limiting ourselves. So it may be a good idea to go through directly to the principal and get some sort of commission or payment or something like that. But that is definitely something we will build on in the future.
Thanks for that. So let me ask you a question. What's your objective with this presentation?
Mainly just to get out there, make sure that we're on your radar, and in the end, we hope to make a product that helps everyone.
Are you open for some advice?
I am.
All right. The word possibly should never come out of your mouth. The word we could do should never come out of your mouth. So if you're asking people to put capital in your venture, you need to be very clear on what you're building. Guy asked you the most important question that we've got. Who's your customer? I don't need you to answer it because it's clear. You have it. You have a subscription-based project that you're selling subscriptions to the interns. There are people that are searching for internships, right?
Yes.
I don't see that anywhere here. Do you have any facts and figures to support any of that?
I believe we do.
Not in your presentation, you don't. So to an investor, since we're on a college campus, this is a teaching moment. To an investor, I don't really care about your project. What I care about is, how do I make money? So what Mikey and Rob asked you was, how can you do this faster? Malibu and Santa Monica, it's great if you're having a hobby business. How do you make this into a 100 million, 200 million, $1 billion business? That's what I want to see. So this is a good start. And I'm being very harsh because this is a friendly environment. And you're on to something. You throw 100 million in funds that are unallocated, if I understood you correctly, that's your total addressable market. How do you get a piece of that? That's for you to figure out for another time. Hope that's helpful. No need for an answer.
That was very helpful. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for the great advices. We appreciate it a lot. Of course, they're still students, so they need to learn, and we're not the experts at this point. We're trying our best. All right, we're gonna continue with a social media link platform for food entrepreneurs that presents you Foodpreneurs. Please come up to the board. Here they are.
Our group is going to introduce a social media link platform for food entrepreneurs. Sorry. So our problem is a limited exposure for food vendors. And because many small food entrepreneurs and street vendors have struggled to get visibility and feel lack of marketing resources and dedicated platforms to showcase their products. And
No, it's hard.
It's hard to hear.
We're all friends here.
Scream it out.
And great food often get ghost noticed by the public. So our solution is a link plus app ordering system. Each food creators receive a personalized menu link. It's similar like Linktree, and they place the link on their social media platforms. When customers see something they like, they can click a link and order instantly. The link is connected to our app where creators receive and manage all orders in one place. This system turns social media traffic into revenue. These are our target users, the home chefs, bakers, and small food creators on TikTok or Instagram. Also, the street vendors and small local food stalls in farmers market. Now our product overview. The personal menu link put on social media bio and customer can click a link, view menu, and place or order immediately. And the app dashboard is managing the order, and they can see all the incoming orders, manage inventory, and track customers. And that's it. Thank you.
I'll start off. So, how are you different than your competitors?
Can you say that again?
So, how are you different than, let's say, Uber Eats?
Because Uber Eats is like target for restaurant, and our target user is not restaurant, or our target user is the food entrepreneurs. And
Hi guys. Thank you. Okay, so basically the difference between this app that we want to create and aside of Uber Eats, we're not gonna do delivery service or any of that. This is just a way to get small food entrepreneurs that are starting their startups, like baking cookies in their kitchen, food vendors like food trucks at Abbot Kinney. So those people aren't really recognized. They're just kind of like word of mouth, or they're passing through. That's how they see. So what we want to do is basically create. How would you say this? Like bring clients to them by creating a link, a menu, kind of helping them advertise their business on this platform that we want to create.
So, you're doing good. You're doing good. I'm trying to understand the product. Is it an app or is it a link to a menu? So, assuming your customer is the food truck driver, right?
Yes.
So you give them a link,
So
like a link to put in his bio, like a link tree,
yes.
and then that link tree directs to your app or it directs to their menu.
Through to our app that basically has a menu, their menu.
Okay. And then the user, the consumer will then go to your app to place the order. It's a lot of steps. From experience, the least amount of steps you give a user, the more likely you are to convert. So I'm just challenging the product from a, would it be viral? Because you want it to be viral. But the more steps, the more likelihood of failure. That's the product angle.
I think you were going there. This seems almost what you described is not necessarily even an app for more awareness. It seems like it's almost more operational efficiency to order through social media. But then, to me, this feels like a feature in someone else's bigger solution that is already one step away from just adding it as a 3-month sprint to develop it and push it out. I mean, I don't know the ordering space well at all, so I would not claim to be an expert, but I've got to just believe that with Uber Eats, Yelp, Google, trying to help these people in various ways, that they could take this, give it to their team, and just have it built into their product in three months. And then they already have the name brand so that would be my biggest concern. And just in general, like, there's a lot you didn't, I think all of us are trying to wrestle with the whole, the totality of what you were trying to do. If there was uncertainty in even where you were playing, next time try to be more specific up front to give us a better idea of what you're really trying to do. Problem statement, solution, financial model, customer, that kind of thing. Just knock it out very linearly so we have a better understanding.
Thanks for the presentation. I totally get what you're doing. My daughter had a home baking business during COVID and she crushed it and then went back to her regular job. But so I get that there's a niche market you've identified, and I love that. I think it was a little hard to see from the presentation exactly how that would work, but I gather the home-based business, for example, will pay some sort of subscription fee. So what I'm curious about is, do you intend to then direct them, I think you said it, to their website or their portal, or do you want to be that portal? You want to be that portal. So if they have their own website, is that cut out here and just basically they order completely through you?
So the majority of them don't have a website.
Okay.
That's
I guess the ones I help do have a website, but I get your point. You're right. And that's really a great niche. I love food like that, so I totally get it. And do you have a sort of an area that you'd want to start in? Is it geographically located? Because there's no borders on an app like this.
Yeah, so we were thinking, since we are in Santa Monica, we were thinking McKinney, how we have food vendors in Santa Monica, like the food trucks. McKinney is very big on that. We were even thinking of getting like local farmers markets on McKinney, West LA, like Grandview, just like very local in the area.
All right, I think I like the idea, I really do, and I think with some development you might have something there. So thank you.
And we're gonna move on Exire Pack, presented by Peter. Please come on into the board. And Alejandro.
Hello everyone, I'm Peter Din. And I'm Alejandro Carballar. And our product is the Exire Pack. So our purpose and problem is that there are too many gear choices for outdoor activity nowadays, and most of them are kind of niche. Especially if you're a beginner to intermediate outdoor enthusiast, you might have problems picking the right product or a product that might serve your needs. You might not know if it serves your needs. Our design philosophy is premium beginner gear without premium complications. We plan on being a jack of all trades, and yeah.
So for our solution, the Exire Pack is a multifunctional feature. So it's a backpack that removes all the guesswork, and it will contain aerodynamic shell, as well as durable outdoor materials, so that it could be used for all types of things.
Yeah, so why now? We decided to make this product now because our society is becoming increasingly niche. From the social media that we watch, we usually fall into very niche communities. From even the doctors that we go to, they're often very specialized. And that's why we wanted to sort of introduce, a backpack that sort of keeps the minimalist design that the world is sort of falling into, while also offering as much features and technology as possible. Our market potential for the outdoor industry, it's around $1 trillion. It's growing faster than the overall economy, and that's a good sign because it's a competitive industry, and that gives us sort of a sign that we should join. And our market capture at 0.01% to 1% is around $100 million to $10 billion. For the backpack industry, it's a $19 billion market, and the market capture at 0.01 to 1% is 1.9 million to 19 million. 19 million should be 19 million. Oh no, yeah, 190 million.
Now you may be asking who are our competitors. So our competitors are mainly North Face, the Borealis backpack, which has such features as the flex vent suspension system, which is it's a system used so that you're able to carry a lot of stuff more comfortably. And then one of our next competitors are the Osprey Atmos. They specialize on things with the same anti-gravity suspension system, ventilation, and features like the still-on-the-go trekking pole attachment. So why Exire? So our backpack basically replaces all those features from all these other companies and kind of combines it into one. So our backpack combines all the technology and offers a single product, such as an aerodynamic hard shell, hydration routing, and a full clamshell opening for outdoor durability.
These are our rudimentary financials. Our production target is around $35 to $45 per bag. We do plan on selling it at $139. We believe that it is a very good price for competitive backpacks. Here is just sale curves. For the first year, if we sell 3,000 units, if we sell 7,500 and 15,000 units, these are our revenue and accounting profits. Our zero economic profit is around 4,000 to 4,500 units. Here's our prototype design. On the left, you can see our target goals. What we beat out our sort of competitors by having hydration pack, hiking pack, and tech and travel, which saves you around $350 worth of gear. Hydration pack alone goes for around $40 on average. So we're gonna have that built into our bag, and yeah.
So for our vision, in 5 years, we see Exar will be the top company to empower beginners to intermediates, encouraging more outdoor activities. Our company will have built a backpack that dominates the whole game by becoming the backpack that you could basically use anywhere, any outdoor activity, any type of activity that you want to use it for. We also, in the future, we would like to combine our brand with companies that specialize in different types of outdoor gear and or high performance outdoor apparel, such as dry fit or like weather resistant jackets. For example, some future Exar models, it'd be cool to maybe, if they'd be equipped with like technology such as built-in GPSs and maybe some form of AI. And thank you. Any questions?
Okay, I'll start off. I'm a gearhead. I love gear, and I'm the guy who will buy gear from Instagram or TikTok if I like it, if it's well done. And I have. So I got several pieces at home. All of them are great. So to me, the first thing I'm thinking is this is a social media play, big time. You're gonna need a budget. I mean, you're gonna have to have one hell of a marketing plan to penetrate that market because it's huge and there's a lot of cool stuff out there. So I'm a gearhead. So I love the idea. I've been in the outdoor market for over 30 years. I get what's going on. So to me, the first thing I see is you have a bit of a plan, but it needs to be evolved a whole lot more because you got to hit, and you're going to have inventory, and inventory is expensive, and there's probably tariffs on it. So it's going to take a bit of a budget to launch this thing. It's not going to be overly cheap, I don't think, to make it successful. But I love what you're trying to do.
I know much less about that, so I'll just stick to the basics here. First off, thank you. That presentation was much more like what I think this group is used to hearing. You structured it well, went through the topics. Thank you for that. That was very organized and thought out. Everyone who's sitting up here hates to see 0.1% of a big market. Like, nope. See, they're already laughing. You started something that's valuable. I love seeing it. A TAM. There's TAM, SAM, SOM. You guys can look up what they are. Like, you were on your way to it, and then you put 1%. And I was like, all right, I'm out. Like, if you got to sort of say down to here's the total market, then your addressable market, and why. So that's just for you as you build it out. I think that's a good thing. But again, thank you. That's structured. Mine was he went right to your go-to-market, which is Instagram. Mine was screaming, I don't understand the go-to-market, direct or distribution. Education is going to be huge for you. Educating on someone on why yours is so good, what it does, and if you're in physical distribution, that's going to cause a lot of challenges to educate somebody to make the sale. And I was just going to throw it out there as something that came to mind. I don't know if it's the right idea, but patent it and then license it. Then you don't have any of these problems. So find somebody who already has a distribution, create the unique thing, patent it, and then use that asset to do something with it. I'm not saying, I would not recommend it. I don't have the expertise, but I just want to throw it out. Maybe he would have a better idea.
So I like the presentation. You identified an opportunity, I think, but to be honest, not being much of a gear person, I didn't really understand what made you so different. In fact, when you say I'm going to be the jack of all trades, that to me is more risky than doing one thing. Most of the time, this is the more you want to do, the less focused you are, and the less focused you are, the less, the more riskier the venture. So I didn't really get the reason why you wanted to be the jack of all trades. I think it would have been easier to say, okay, there's this one particular area that nobody's really looking at, and we can get in there quickly if that's the case. So the jack of all trades thing, I don't understand. But maybe because I don't understand the market so well.
Well, our goal is to add as many features as possible. That's what we mean by jack of all trades. Our product differentiation is still quite different from the rest, such as our use of an EVA shell. An EVA shell, or the material, is usually used for those like cases that you see in cameras, or maybe in like the medical industry. It's used to sort of protect valuable or easily like broken things. That's because an EVA shell has more shock resistant than any other material out there. And that's our main product differentiation. The features and the jack of all trades is just adding on to sort of the need and removing sort of the guesswork that comes along with buying a backpack. For instance, you're a beginner and you might not know what to buy. We're going to be focusing on what do you need when you go outside or when you go outdoors. It's also good to know that our vision, our plan for the future is to have add-ons. I think it's sort of important to serve our existing customers and new customers by having that option of adding more tech or removing less tech. It just depends on the individual, what they like, what they feel their needs are, and we're here to provide it all in one backpack.
Cool. So my fellow sharks here hit most of the points here. Your TAM, way too big. Trillion people, you put that on there, you're saying you're selling it, your target market is 1 in 8 people on the planet. You might need to rethink that. The other one you had was a little, which Rob was pointing to, was better. So you're saying backpack market universally is 19 billion. And you went to exactly what he said, 0.01%. Whenever I see that percentage discussion come up, my question is how? So now I'm going to go to your SOM, serviceable obtainable market, meaning that's where you really play. And your break even is 4,500 units, right? Okay. How do you sell 4,500 units?
Well,
in year one?
In this world today, TikTok Shop is very popular nowadays, and the thing about TikTok Shop,
I don't care about general. I want your specific plan to sell 4,500 units. And I'm kind of being mean to you here because it's going to help you in the future. So when I ask for that, I know what TikTok Shop does. How are you going to use it to move 4,500 units?
we're going to sell our product there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate a lot. And now we're gonna move on to the next. That is the future of public transportation by Diego. Please give him an applause.
Hi everyone, my name is Diego Molina. I'm from El Salvador, and just to begin, I would like you to do a quick exercise. Look around yourself. Notice how everything that you see right now has changed through the last couple of years. For example, the phones that we used to use. We now got cell phones, which are sometimes more intelligent than us. We got all these amazing huge screens. We got AI, which is answering all of our questions in a matter of seconds. But I want you to tell you about one thing that hasn't really changed that much in the last 40, 50, 60 years, which is public transportation. So, here we got a huge problem. We got schools and we got public transport, which is basically obsolete. People in the school buses are suffering from bullying because no one's really there to actually see how they react and how they are doing with their other classmates. And people in public buses are suffering not just because they don't get in time or just because they suffer from some type of crime inside the bus, but also because they're just not as good as they could be. So, I propose to you guys a shift. autonomous vehicles, which are already here. So our vision is to make the autonomous public transportation 2.0. And for that, let me have the pleasure to present Move. This is a quick render that how it could look like in the outside. And you might ask, why? Why should we do this? Well, for schools, we got safety, supervision, and zero bullying. Because now, when we implement this autonomous transportation, we were not having a driver, but instead we were having someone who will be taking care of all the guys inside the public transportation, making sure they're always behaving and that they're good. And also, we will have to prepare them as best as we can in order to fulfill a good action in case of an emergency. Like say, for example, a kid is having a health problem or there is an incident inside the bus, they will be able to actually help with that problem or contact with the authorities. As well as we will also provide an app for the parents where they could track where their kids are from the moment they leave their house to the moment they reach the school. They will have an approximate ETA time, and they will also have cameras which will be supervised by the state and by the school in order to see if there happens any problems regarding with the people inside or with the supervisor. That's like a quick render. And for public transit, we will have safety, predictability, and smart routing. So again, this time the app is not for the parents, it will be for the people. So with the app, you will be able to actually locate where the next stop for your bus is going to be at. You will have the ETA time for your arrival, and we'll also have the huge possibility of being in a more safe environment, since now someone will be there to take care of how everyone is doing inside. And that's also like a quick render. And one of the problems I faced while thinking about this idea will be like, but what happens with the drivers? Will we be eliminating those jobs? And then I said, not actually. We were creating more jobs. We will convert the drivers into trained transit safety supervisors, preventing structural unemployment, upgrading them into higher skill and higher pay roles. They will not be just drivers. There will be people who will be in charge of everyone inside the buses, and they will have much more skills. This way, we will focus on safety, support, and incident response, supported by transitioning training programs for all existing drivers. According to the Public Transportation Department in the United States, 94% of the car accidents happen due to human error. And by implementing this autonomous driving, we will eliminate those errors and having, therefore, less car accidents. So for the technology platforms, as I mentioned before, we'll fleet management dashboard for district and cities. We will have parent and passenger mobile apps with real-time GPS, ETA tracking, and route optimization. And we will have an interior and exterior cameras with centralized monitoring. And this is a really important question for me. Why now, and why this is the opportunity we've been waiting for? U.S. school buses market is approximately 20 billion annually. Public transit market is 80 billion annually, and AV tech is already here, but no one's applying it into public transportation. We all see these Waymos, we all see it in Teslas, but there's nothing that has been applied into public transportation, which is such a huge market. In the United States, there are more than 500,000 school buses and more than 100,000 buses for public transportation, and this will be a huge market. We will not only be able to actually gain a profit, but to also ensure people's security by having a more safety drive. So now, let's get to move for the future. Thank you so much.
Diego, I love your energy. I like the fact that you didn't read from a presentation. It was a fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
Now let me get to the details here, because what you're trying to solve is a huge problem, right? So you have the Teslas of the world, you have the Waymos that you point out. They are already looking into this. And if you're doing it for school, you're probably doing it for regular public transportation as well. So my question to you is, what is your actual product? Is it an idea? that you're pitching, or do you actually intend to build something and scale something?
Being honest, this was more like an idea, and it just happened like really quickly and really fun. I was driving, and then I saw a school bus, and I saw a Waymo, and I was like, oh, that Waymo's nice. What if we have a Waymo and the school bus together? So it's actually more of an idea. Of course, I don't have the capacity or the ability or even the possibility to actually perform all this and get into this big market, but it's more of an idea that I just had, and I wanted to pitch it to you guys.
It's a good idea, and I say this generally more crudely, but ideas are a dime a dozen. It's how are you solving them, right?
Yeah.
Now, I like your presentation. You've highlighted a very interesting thing. I have 4 kids, and they don't take the bus. Some do, some don't. And you're on to something, but again, you're at a Shark Valley presentation, and yet you're the 3rd one or 4th team, and I have never heard of anybody asking for money. Right?
Yeah.
Don't be shy. The guys that are coming up, if you have an idea, what's it going to cost, and how is it going to make me money, right? That's how you should think about this. Anyway, Diego, thank you. I love your energy.
Thank you.
Yeah, same here. It's a big idea, and investors like big ideas. And just like Leon said, guys need to talk about money. At least have maybe not a perfect model, but at least some indication of how you're going to make money. That's what's missing from your presentation, and some sort of, okay, this is how we intend to make money. And one of the challenges that I see, which I think you were onto it, is how do you get it to work with the municipalities and stuff like that. That's the biggest challenge, in my opinion. But yeah, it's a good idea. Just where's the money here?
Yeah, so regarding the money topic, which I know it's really important for everyone here, yeah, we'll be in that kind of way, more like a service, especially for municipalities, as we'll be providing not only the buses, but also the system, which they will be able to use. So, of course, every school, every department invest in technology and innovation. So this will be part of their budget for innovation and safety. Regarding this will be amazing, not only for the kids, but also for the parents and for the city, therefore. So we will try to reach out to them by providing a solution that actually, in my opinion, I'm not a parent, but I will be more than glad to actually take my money into that, which is going to make my kids drive safe and me being completely calm. So yeah.
I'll jump in. First thing I wrote down was exactly what was brought up before. You did more storytelling, and storytelling in pitches is it's very desired, and it's more engaging and captivating. So again, kudos to you on that. That was the first thing I wrote down. Some of this is the same. I mean, I feel like this is a natural solution. It's gonna happen. You gave us a great market problem, but I don't believe that you can solve it. I mean, that's the thing. But the details, if you're gonna build it out, there's no go-to-market, like who you're gonna sell to exactly and how you're gonna reach them. And on that note, and this is for everyone here, if you're gonna go to like schools and public entities, you brought it up, the budget, they're all done publicly. They have to have a lot of this, bid out, RFPs written. This is gonna be a long sales cycle. So just for everyone to be aware as you think about how you're gonna get, who you're gonna actually sell to and how you're gonna get to them, and that's gonna be a big challenge. This is gonna have massive RFPs that are gonna be just multiple years to do things, so just be aware of it, right? And I guess I'll just finish with, as I was looking at this and also listening to the comments, why don't you assume this is gonna happen. You've found something. Where can you take a small piece of it that you can execute on, find the players who are going in, taking care of those 4-year RFPs, and jump in with them and provide a part of the solution to that. And I don't know what that would be, but I'm just making you think differently. Instead of trying to take the bite, which I think you're going to get steamrolled by Tesla and all those guys whoever's Waymo, whoever's going to build it, try to find something that you can address in this and support.
Yeah, that's also a great idea. I know this will be out of my possibilities, and as you say, I also think that I could get like maybe a small piece of the cake by providing, let's say, for example, the app that will be available for the parents or for the people to track where the next stop for the bus they're waiting for is. And yeah, that's very good. Thank you.
Diego, I agree with everything that's been said here. The most important part here is you're a fantastic public speaker.
Thank you.
You're off to a great start. If you want to change the world, it's relationships that do it. So I think my big message here to this entire group, if you want to raise money to do anything in the future, you've got to know how to develop honest, true relationships with the people you're talking to. This project is so monumentally big, it fries my brain. To have spent 15 years in government, I see a future for you in being in the trenches on this. I'm the one who negotiated dividing the Malibu and Santa Monica school district. My parents were talking about it when I was in first grade in Malibu. It's still not done, and I made that deal 7 years ago. So these projects are outside of, I mean, yeah, it's already been said. It's already said, but your ability to work with people is really, it's your ace in the hole going forward, on top of what everyone else said here. So well done. Excellent presentation.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right, excellent. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. We're gonna continue with Orbit app. I wanna ask, is Rachel here? All right, no. So I guess we're gonna move on. Unfortunately.
Swipe left.
All right, we're gonna move to our LA presented by Braden.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Sharks. All right, everybody, welcome to RLA. My name is Braden Hodson, and I'm going to be presenting here today with...
Diego, I just presented.
I didn't know he was going to do that, by the way. So, the business. So, first and foremost, is anybody here familiar with 311 Los Angeles' public phone dialing system? By a show of hands. Okay. So, for those who do not know, 311 Los Angeles is an unorganized, unproductive way of keeping our city productive and organized. We were challenged with a task to come up with a business idea given an hour time constraint, give or take. Then we were given another time constraint to come up with a solution for said issue. The process began with a couple people in a group, some of which did not even make it today. The brainstorming process, which overall, we came up with some ideas. Transportation kind of sucks. The 405. How can we make that better? Right? There's no real way to do it. So we came up with this idea. Our idea is that we can monetize and for a premium make 311's public dialing system for clients specifically. We created this idea and we started poking holes in it because that's what every good business requires you to do. Why wouldn't this work? Well, will people even pay for it? 311 doesn't work. What's to say that ours is going to work, right? We had to create a solution to this. We were able to come up with an idea that if we had a public dialing system along with a better organized app, we could potentially create better solutions. Then the monetization. Will this be able to get us paid? Absolutely, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
So, as we just talked about, there are huge problems that are not being solved by 311. And actually, what's funny is that when he asked about who knows 311, more than half of the room didn't even notice, and that tells us how bad work they have been doing actually. So, among those problems, we got long time waits, we got no follow-up, and no real solution actually. So, what we will provide, or value, and our solution per se, will be that we will have a faster response. We will guarantee a follow-up and verify completion of those problems. In 2024, 1.4 million calls were registered into 311, and 40% of those calls were not even taken. They were just transferred. And guess what? Those problems did not go solved. So we're here to actually help the people.
Now, who are these people? The people that we want to focus this towards is people in our neighborhoods, right? Look at your neighbors, okay? We want to focus on people on the go, people in a rush, elderly or impaired, people who maybe even getting out of their house can be a task sometimes, and property managers especially. The image shown up here is when I was on my way to school, Santa Monica College, and as I was taking a left turn at a stop sign, there is a massive chunk of the road that is come up. Now, I've had a bunch of other experiences like this. For example, on the 405, I actually had my tire pop and my wheel have some damage because there was a stainless steel ladder on the freeway. Issues like these come up every single day. For me, I'm just a student. I know that there's a bunch of other issues. For example, people in neighborhoods, overflowing trash bins, right? Potholes, sidewalks, right? If you guys didn't know, that's your responsibility. Elderly impaired people, once again, people who struggle to get out of the house to take care of what's theirs, right? Property managers, they have to send in a phone call every time they want to have a big item picked up to send in the trash. Who's going to come and do that?
So here's basically our business plan. We have this monetization. So first, we'll get surveys and therefore a wait list. We already got in talk with some people that actually experience these issues, and we will be recruiting more of those issues and trying to get that wait list for people that's going to be wanting for this app.
I'm going to first start off by saying, before anything, the way that I would like to launch this business is just by a launch page, a wait list, a sign-up sheet. Who would be interested? Come to our website. All you need is an email. No phone number, no name, nothing else. Who is interested? We want a list of people who know that they would be willing to pay a certain amount of premiums for our product.
Yes, and then we'll have the development of this app, which of course will have to be user-friendly, because one of the main reasons people is coming to us is because the 311 is not user-friendly. They just get rejected. And then we will have recruitment. We will have students who will be willing to get part-time jobs. We will have people that is philanthropists, and we will have people that are wanting to also get to help the city. And then, as he said before, we will have the premiums, which will be the people who will pay for their service, and which we will have the access to everything that we offer, as he said, from any small to big problem that you can encounter, and it will be 24/7, 365 a year.
I would also like to mention that once again, the premiums will be done in a monthly and an annual way. I think that a flat cost for picking up the phone or to request something on an app is not the greatest idea, and I think it's very outdated generally. I think that if you did a monthly, I think that if we did a monthly and an annual premium, I think that people would be more inclined to pay for our product because it's something that might not be at the front of their minds all the time, but when something like a street is coming out of the, is coming out of the floor, they might feel so inclined to report it. I would also, I would also like to say that I was a philanthropist myself for about 4 years. I was the co-president of an organization called National League of Young Men, and we looked for ideas like this all the time. We wanted to not just help certain causes, but the broader cause. We wanted to help Los Angeles as a city and not focus so much on just certain niches and, for example, like tree people in Laurel Canyon, right? We didn't want to just focus on planting trees, although it is a very important issue. We have many more important issues that surround us every day. Locational examples and problem examples. So here's a map that I have just kind of sketched out a little bit. So let's say that we get a couple of calls, say 3, from a couple areas, right? We have one that's our power went out, there's a pothole, and there's active vandalism. Okay? We're gonna be using this as a priority-based queue. Depending on when you make your phone call, the severity of the issue that you're facing, and where you're located, and who we have out, we're gonna base your issues on a problem scale. Those will be solved given the severity of certain situations. Thank you so much, you guys.
Alrighty, great presentation, by the way. Well done. Your presentation was great. It was easy to follow. So this issue is going to be really, really hard, just so you know. So right now, the model, you want to change a model, but the way the model works now is this is government's responsibility, local governments. And companies like particularly Oracle are in this space doing exactly what you're doing already.
Okay.
So, but it's an expensive program.
Absolutely.
We looked at it at the city of Malibu and politely walked away. Because it's expensive, because not only is the program expensive, but the ability to execute on what the program is designed for is hard. So, once again, I feel like I'm talking to future lobbyists, and hey, it's a great job. I mean, I love lobbyists, and when they're helping you, it's awesome. But this is a monster project, and if you were going to do it, I'd say get a job at Oracle first and find out the ins and outs, because it's a little uglier than it seems from the surface. And but you're not wrong.
Thank you.
And I until the end, I just realized I didn't know something. They're gonna call you and you're gonna go out and solve the problem?
So the main kind of way that we would like to have this set up is we would like to outsource a phone calling system with either using just an AI response, not a robot. I don't want to sit there and click 1, 2, and 3 for every response that I get over the phone. I want to be able to tell my problem. I want it to be able to figure out where I am, who I am, and what needs to be done quickly. People, once again, this is for people who are on the go, right? I want an app like Waze, right? When you're driving and you see a collision, you click the report button, you click crash, right? I'm talking that quick, right? Once the reports are made, we were talking about either getting philanthropists, students, or I would like to say working class people to sign up for our program. I think that it would be a better way. We could be able to pay them certain premiums for an hour or for hourly pay, send them out to job sites, have things fixed. Obviously, I understand the permit requirements of the city of Los Angeles, and have the job be done in a timelier manner than the city of Los Angeles currently does.
I gotta say, I'm gonna leave time for everybody. I still don't quite understand how you expect that to work. Like, cause you just brought up a crash, you have the police and fire involved, like, and then trees and then potholes. Like, the amount of people that you would have to have and experts to solve this problem and coordinate. I mean, that's what I think Mikey was saying. So I want to put that aside because I want to give these guys time and hit my piece. When you first started in the presentation, you shared a solution and why it wouldn't work before telling us what the solution was. And then I think when you had everyone raise their hands on 311, until the end, I tried to play like I don't know what 311 is until you started showing the potholes and talking about it. At the end, I figured out what 311 was. So for the people who didn't know what it was, they were probably listening to that going, no idea what 311 was. You made a great comment, I'm just trying to help everybody. Like, I have talked to the people who have the problem. People, please, come to us having said that I've talked to people who have the problem and here's their specific needs and have the data to support it. I love that, so thank you. And then last, I just almost feel like Citizens app, like a lot of this is already kind of done. Nextdoor, Citizens app, people are already trying to report their things. And so maybe there's a better way for you to become facilitation to the right people in the government from people who are already who are already getting the problems being reported to them. That might be a suggestion.
Thank you so much, I appreciate that.
So I also didn't know what 311 was. So for the first few minutes, I had no idea. what you were talking about. In fact, as I was going through the presentation, I was like, is this a call center? Or then you were talking about paying people. So I'm assuming 311 is free. So how much, so the regular details, the overall idea made sense, but then again, financials, how much does it cost? Why would people want to be involved? And I still don't understand. So is it more of a reporting call center for people to call in and report problems, or
Regarding 311 or our idea?
Your idea. So are you basically creating an interface for people to say, yes, I'm willing to report that there's a pothole, so you can then get the information and do something? And that's also people you're paying? You're paying people to collect information, or you're paying people to go and fix the problem? I just don't understand how this whole thing works out. So that was very confusing. And then how do people would even find out about? You didn't address either anything about marketing, and maybe, we don't have that much time also, I understand that. But at least if you want to present a big idea, have some one slide that says next step, this is how much this is how we're gonna implement it. That would have been easier for a person who doesn't even understand what the product is to go back and say, oh, okay, this is what they're doing, because I still don't know
Absolutely.
how it will all work out.
Thank you so much.
Hi, good, interesting. So, faster, better, cheaper is what you're proposing. Who's paying for this today? The 311.
I know plenty of people in certain neighborhoods that have told me that it is such an issue and such a prevalence or such a problem within prevalence that they would pay for it.
Yeah.
Not that they've, signed up for something and said, hey, I'm absolutely down, let's absolutely do it, right? But I've heard people say,
Yeah.
right? I find that, when I'm driving home, right, and it's like, there's once again, a chunk of the road out, or, for example, I see roadkill sometimes. It's like, it's like, okay, who can I call to get this taken care of?
Animal
right?
control. No, but so how do you pay for it is what I'm asking about. And Mikey brought this up. This is a government responsibility. They're working with Oracle and these types of companies that set up an ERP system that manages, and Rob mentioned this too, it's a logistical problem. How do you get the right person to solve the problem that the citizen is reporting at the right time, faster, better, cheaper? Now, by the way, I'm not asking that question because I think what you're on to here, and you said something, is I'm just a student. Mark Zuckerberg was just a student. So I'm not taking anything away from you. You're actually on to something here. They just had a political election in New York. Your group of people voted against what a lot of people would say is common sense, but I'm not here to make any judgment on that. The young persons of today, I'm just a student, are solving the future. So to Mikey's point, if the government is already paying for this, what you guys should figure out, if this is something that you actually want to go and solve, who's paying for it? Can you do it cheaper? Go to Oracle and say, listen, I have a way for you to make more money and look better and take on a government-run, poorly managed 311 system and put some coin in your pocket while you're doing it, right? So the future is yours. Us old folk, we don't do anything anymore. We sit around and we say, we tried this here, it didn't work, too big of a problem. Lobbyist is the solution. Never ever in my life will I ever say that, because I've worked with them also. But you guys are the future. So you've noticed something here that needs solving. Old people like us can't figure it out. You guys have the ball, go solve it.
Thank you. And really quickly, do you mind if I ask a couple questions? You guys are the professionals. I would love to be able to ask a couple. So just kind of regarding some of these ideas and something like this is, being able to take it to a place like Oracle, right? Being able to refine an idea, right? Get it down to something that's so stone cold that I can take it to them, right? I guess I struggle with the idea that it's like, if there's already people working on this, if there's already so many, and then this is more of like a general thing a little bit now, but it's like if there's already people working on it, then what's to say that they listen to me?
I'll give my thought, and actually, both Rob and Mikey and Dee gave you this answer to this already. But make it concise and make it profitable. That's what everybody goes for. If I tell you, I'll give you an ice cream, you'll do something for that ice cream. Like, go get me a book, I'll give you an ice cream. You'll do it. If I say do it for free, you'll say go, hug a tree. So you need to make it compelling. Every single one of the presentations today, thus far, haven't been compelling because you're not telling me anything. You're telling me there's a problem, and again, everybody has an idea. Execution is where the gold is. So if you want to get to the people, tell them how to do it better.
You got it. Thank you so much.
And also, it's never easy to get to those people. 99% of the time it's impossible, to be honest. So you have to be very lucky, but you also have to identify in these organizations, through LinkedIn or whatever, through your alumni association, whatever you can find a path towards somebody in those organizations. And once you have one person that responds, then just keep
beeline it.
Yeah, because the truth is, Oracle, big companies, people are busy, and they just don't have that. Either I don't know what it is. I've never really been a corporate person, but whether the time, the kindness, the care to follow through, but you just have to keep chasing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Are we done? Okay.
We appreciate you guys so much.
I'll talk to me later. I got an idea for you.
Thank you so much.
Can I answer that question just quickly? There's something I teach all of my clients. Number one, there's nobody on the planet you can't talk to. That's all in your head. Absolutely all in your head. And there's no such thing as a difficult conversation. Only conversations we consider difficult. Once you figure out how to wipe that out of your mind, it's amazing the people you connect with. It's changed my life. I'm able to connect with people I don't know at all, in industries I don't know at all. Every time? No, of course not. But never give up. Never give up, and find the voice. Find the voice to connect. It's called leadership. So that to me is the answer.
Grit, right? Thank you.
It doesn't have to be great. You can enjoy it. You can call it hard, or you can just enjoy the ride.
Yeah. You. What is it? What's the saying? It's if you find something you enjoy, you never work a day in your life. Whenever. I think that's right. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you.
We have one more. So I know some of you have classes at 12:45. Can you raise your hand just to see who has a class after and has to go? All right, a couple of you, okay. We're gonna have one last speech that is gonna last in total 10 minutes, who is gonna be Simeon. Simeon, you can come up to the board, and you're gonna present the Golden Age Tech. By the way, right after this speech, you guys will be able to connect with the investors, with the sharks right here, until whenever they want to leave. All right, good luck.
Hey everybody, thank you for your time. So first I want to ask a general question. Could you raise your hand if you can comfortably say that I feel comfortable using my cell phone, I know what I'm doing, and more like the basic stuff, pretty much. Take somebody. I guess everybody. Yeah. So unfortunately, that isn't the case for everybody. So the aging, our seniors aren't, how should I say it, aren't the specialists in this area, and I guess many of you had experience with that, trying to explain maybe something pretty simple for you, maybe to your grandparents, how to send out a message or something. I mean, me personally, sometimes I had to explain to my grandma for 30 minutes how to scan a QR code or something like that. So yeah, I guess it's a pretty big problem, and in today's world, I mean, it's pretty hard to live without a cell phone, or with one but not knowing how to use one. So our solution is very pretty simple. We want to offer lessons, specific lessons on specific apps, how to basically teach seniors how to use them. We don't want to go too broad, so we want to focus on, let's say, a WhatsApp class. So we're going to spend an hour explaining the most basic stuff, the most important stuff. We want to be focused on one specific thing, so we don't want to go too broad, because for them it's a little bit harder to understand since it's basically not in their language, so to say. So yeah, as mentioned already, our ideal customers are obviously seniors that don't have a lot of knowledge how to use their smartphones or like apps on the internet, and potentially their family members who would like to help them out so they could basically have better communication with them. And also what I want to mention is that that our customers, they don't work, so they have a lot of free time. They also have a lot of money so that they can spend. They don't spend it on, I mean, they saved up a lot of money through their life, so it's not like they don't have money to afford a course. So yeah, I mean, the idea isn't like complicated at all. So I went around and looked, is there any like competition? Is anybody doing something like this already? And what I found for the most part is that people do have lessons obviously on how to use basic apps, but those lessons are online. So I mean, if I don't know how to make a video and send it to somebody on WhatsApp, how am I supposed to find a course on the internet that's gonna teach me that? So I guess, yeah, obviously doesn't make really a lot of sense. So yeah, we basically offer convenience, and that's what I want to mention. So there's a lot of locations. We want to host our classes in person and not digital classes. So we can obviously host them at like community areas somewhere in like I don't know, like a gated community with a lot of seniors. But at first, I want to focus more on assisted living homes or like elderly housing, because those are places where our like customers are based at. We don't have to do a lot of marketing to reach out to them since they're already there, and yeah, we don't have to find ways to tell everybody to come to this community center. We're gonna teach you there how to make everything. So yeah, at first I want to start with the assisted living homes. So yeah, I'll explain how the business is supposed to make money. So we want to basically divide ourselves into two different areas. We want to have like classes for big groups of people, for example, like maybe 30 people, 40 people, and therefore we will be able to charge less for every lesson. So I just put it like a broad number, $5. But I mean, depending on the amount of people that come, obviously the income is going to grow. And what's also great about it is that it has a very high profit margin. So there are no fixed costs and very low variable costs. We don't need that many professors, and we don't even need like skilled professionals, because something for us that we are trying to teach them is understandable and reasonable for us. So we don't need to hire any experts. And yeah, what I also want to mention is that it's obviously a big market. It's hard to reach out to customers online. And yeah, when I was thinking about the idea and presenting it here, I was asking myself, like, what is there, like, why would we ask for money? Like, I can just go start it tomorrow, pretty much. We don't need any marketing or anything. So basically, I think that we would need money to scale the business, because it's pretty hard to do it if you don't have that many people. So you need to find more people that will help you with the idea. And more teachers, how to make the lessons more efficient. So we want to make sure that what we're teaching is actually teaching somebody something, that it's not like us explaining it, but we want to make sure that our audience understands what we're talking about. And also a concern I had at first is that maybe the seniors right now are struggling with technology, but since everybody's getting older and the people that are like 50 and 40 right now, they know how to use their smartphones and most devices. But what I thought about later is that the technology is also growing. So now we have stuff like AI and similar stuff. So even I myself sometimes have it like, it's hard for me to keep up with everything going on. So I don't think it's going to be a dying industry. And yeah, I think, yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Simeon.
Simeon, fantastic idea. I love this idea. I have clients for you right now. This is my life dealing with this. So absolutely, this is a great small business idea that you could spread out. Belmont Shores and Calabasas, there's 200 people waiting at the door for you right now. They can't hear you, they can't see a cell phone, they're blindly pushing buttons on their computer. They need your help. So I think it's people like me that end up paying for it more than likely, maybe 50-50, I don't know, between that and the people you're after. A lot of them cannot read a cell phone anymore, so that's something to help them deal with, how to make the print bigger. A lot of them are on computers that are ancient because they don't pay to update anything because they don't understand it or at all. I think it, yeah, there's definitely a huge market, in my opinion. I would say the one thing I would add here is certify anyone that's part of that you hire to do this, or that gets part of your group. Make sure they really know how to talk to people, that they're patient. It's going to take more time with each person you probably think, unless you've personally been going through it, because it's just gonna. And they're going to want to talk about other stuff. It's, they're going to want to give you cookies. It's the whole bit. They got nothing better to do. Fantastic idea.
Yeah, I would agree. This is by far the most executable thing I've heard. And you're right, you could start this, and you should, frankly. My thought is, I started to write different things down. You could start immediately going to retirement homes that you're talking about. Sell it as a program for them. If you're providing high value support to their people, and they can tell prospective clients who are going to be putting them in these places for $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month, that there's this service that they offer their people, their parents, that will make them do everything you said. They'll pay you for it, and you could create a subscription out of that, contracts with them, right? And service level agreements, right, with everything. And you could just literally, start it locally, take his 2 connections and go start tomorrow. Seriously. You could then scale, and you brought up a good point I wrote down, you could start to look at standards and certifications that you could create. So find the governing bodies who work with the retirement homes, and try to see later if you can get a standard put in that you help write, which, as everyone here knows, when you write an RFP, you're writing yourself into business. And then you can scale pretty easily. Start with people that you train and certify, but then you can start to sell franchises. You could franchise this thing. This could actually start small and go big. And to me, it's the most, obvious path of something that could come out of this for me right now.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry, you said don't do it online? You could create a YouTube channel with courses that you would then offer as part of your package that they could, if they choose to, look at all times, and it'd be a marginal cost for you with huge impact.
Yeah, I'll say something real quick about that. Yeah, I was thinking, I didn't mention a lot on my PowerPoint, unfortunately, but a different idea I had about scaling the business is that we can teach them how to access the online resources, and if they know how to do that, they can access more knowledge. So if we teach them how to watch our YouTube videos, how to get on our YouTube channel, they can start watching the videos, or maybe even making AI teachers in the future. I'm not sure how they would like the idea, I can't say that, but yeah, we have an online coach basically explaining something very simple. The online coach is obviously going to have patience and can explain the same thing a bunch of times. So yeah, we could, that was one way I was thinking about scaling it in the future.
Yeah, when I thought about the business, there's so many ways to grow it. But I agree with both my friends. You have to start. You could quickly pivot into, once you're in front of the person, and to me, what you're offering the technology lessons are just kind of a Trojan horse to finding out what else. And I don't think you're necessarily scared with this, but as you're meeting more and more seniors, then you will find out what they really need with, true high, because it's not really a high profit margin business. Once you have certified guys, you put a little marketing, around it, maybe do a couple of TV ads, because that's how you're going to reach to them. The margin is not going to be there anymore. But once you're in front of them, you start with the technology, and then you can scale into, then it's endless, because you are basically their tech person, and then you can start selling anything that they would want. So, but I absolutely believe you should start now. And even, when I was in college, I did something very similar. I went to UCLA. I started a little something, very similar to this, and I ended up paying for school. So you should start.
Yeah, thank you so much for the advice. Yeah, I was thinking about something similar. Maybe that the idea I had that basically if we teach them something, we kind of build trust, and then they start trusting us. They start liking us. They're all friendly people. So I guess through that trust, you could start selling exactly as you said, like stuff in the future, and then maybe find something they might need even more than technology lessons. But thank you.
Thanks, Simeon. Again, why are you here giving me this presentation? Go up to senior citizens place on 15th Street and help them. The challenge I have with this model, it's a need today. How many repeat customers do you have? So once you teach me how to use WhatsApp, once you teach me how to send an email, that's kind of the extent of what my mother wants to use her email for, or her phone for, right? So, and not to bring unit economics into the conversation, $5, you're driving 20 miles, let's say your car gets 40 miles per gallon, right? You drive back and forth, you've spent $5 on gas, right? You're doing what Guy said, you're maybe doing some marketing, maybe you're doing something else. Those costs drive into your margin. The most important word you need to remember is churn, customer churn. It's much easier to keep a customer than to find a new one. So if you have one, and Guy mentioned this, and Rob mentioned this, and Mikey mentioned this too, is once you have them, how else can you market to them? And if they trust you, then there you go, you have something. But how is this the idea for you to pay for college? Is this something that you want to create a franchise out of? Sorry, I've done franchise financing many times. This is not repeatable and scalable, right? The scale problem is if I'm in Boise, Idaho, there's not enough people for me that's gonna pay $5 more than once, right? But if you want to make a little bit of extra money, rather than going and selling water, having a lemonade stand on the side of the road, go do this now. You'll make $25,000, $30,000 easily. And then see what you want to do. Entrepreneurship is about iterating and iterating and iterating and finding what you're good at, right? So fantastic idea, fantastic presentation. I don't know why you're presenting this here today. You should be doing it.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
They call that 40 S's, I think.
It was a school project. I had to come up with an idea and then present it. I just presented the idea. That's. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Wow. Thank you for those 7 startups ideas we had. It was amazing. A lot of work were done from every of our students, and because they're in our club, Entrepreneurs Valley, that we founded it, that's what we do there, and I hope you liked it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. Feel free to leave, go to your classes if you do, or to connect with whoever you want to connect with. Thank you again.
That's so cool.
Did you already give it to them? You gave it to them?
That was really good. Are you guys recording? I think they're recording. I think they're recording. Yeah, I think so. So what are the ideas? Anyone this is like this is just our advice.
But if we're not, so I'm just like looking for advice right now.
I was late. The last one. Oh, the last
I mean, yeah, but the thing is that
oh, for seniors.
I do even more niche is that there's a